Cowboys. We're about to get into this Broncos Cowboys talk. Last week in the NFL was the weekend of upsets.
Big
you had Jags over the Bills.
Any given Sunday.
You had the Cowboys getting waxed by the Broncos. What else did we have? We had a couple more upsets.
You mentioned the Dolphin game?
The
Dolphins
win?
The Dolphins, yeah, they won
3 against the
Ravens right now?
Yeah, 15-3.
Damn.
As we speak.
Yeah, and they beat the Texans. Well, they beat the Texans. So, I mean, I don't really know if you want to count that as an upset.
I don't know about all that.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Giants beat the Raiders 23-16. That's another upset.
Giants beat the Raiders.
Yep.
The Browns beat the Bengals. That was close.
The Titans beat the Rams. And remember, we were saying that the Rams were going to win that game. Mm-hmm. So that was another one that was pretty surprising as well.
Chiefs
beat the Pack.
Now, Rams are going to be damn near unstoppable.
Oh yeah, they just picked up OBJ.
Bro, what the hell? Where the hell did the Rams get money from?
Bro, they're in LA. Come on, man.
It doesn't matter.
They got money.
Works under the same salary cap.
They obviously not.
They got money. Everybody $1, and these fools got $1,500 worth of players.
Yeah,
and everybody else is. Bro, they're playing Madden fantasy team, and we're out here we're picking up Payless Shoe Source cashiers. Trying to play left tackle.
The crazy part about that too is that, I was talking to my brother-in-law because he's a big Raiders fan. The rest of my family, my wife's side of the family, they root for the Raiders. And so when they lost whenever they lost Henry Ruggs III, whenever they lost Henry Ruggs, I was telling them, man, OBJ's about to be available. And then they turn around and pick up DeSean Jackson. I'm like, bruh.
That's what I'm telling me. Like, nobody has money, and all of a sudden they're like, what? Von Miller's free? Yeah, we'll take Von Miller.
What the hell, bro?
Yeah, we'll take OBJ. What the hell is going on?
There had to be some sort of trades involved in that. I don't think it's.
No, he was a free agent. He was free to sign with whoever. He cleared waivers. Cleveland couldn't find a trade partner for him, and I think what hurt him was everybody in the NFL knew OBJ wanted out, and they knew that Cleveland wasn't going to find anybody to trade and pick up that salary, that contract. So they're just like, we'll wait to see. And OBJ cleared waivers on Monday, so Tuesday he was free to get picked up. And there was starting to be a little, rumblings about like, why has he not gotten picked up yet? Like, what's going on? And he was like, my list includes Green Bay at the top. And it was Green Bay, the Saints, the Patriots, the Rams, the Packers, like Green Bay. But yeah, like they were all, he said, I want to go to somebody that's competing. So Seattle was in that mix. So for him to end up with the Rams, I'm just like, bruh, what else do you want? Matt Stafford, I've always said Matt Stafford was grossly underrated.
Yeah.
I always thought
all he needed was a team around him, bro.
Trill always just poo-pooed all over Matt Stafford. And he was like, he's trash. He's not even as good as Matt Ryan. I'm like, bro, Matt Stafford just doesn't. I mean, he had Calvin Johnson, but that was it. He's never had a run game.
Yep.
He's never had like legitimate, aside from Calvin Johnson.
Hey, he helped Calvin Johnson get to the Hall of Fame. So I mean,
I'm saying, yeah.
Now look at him. He's with the Rams. Got all the talent around him.
Like Troy said, your receivers can't get there without quarterback.
Right. Yeah, receivers don't get inducted into the Hall of Fame for their blocks
No.
and their, route running. You go in there for your stats.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta have the stats. And
Okay.
Stafford got him one into the Hall of Fame already. So
And the Rams are 7-2 right now too.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe
OBJ is like, it's
But-
like,
hear me out. When you think Odell Beckham Jr., if you could encapsulate him in one play, what would that one play be?
it's always the one-handed catch. Always.
Right?
It will always be that.
Right. That was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Sure.
And he's not that player anymore.
So says you.
So says his stats.
No. Hold on. Mr. Holt is in his 60s and can still catch a ball one-handed.
It's fine if you want to catch a ball with one hand. You have to be able to perform. He might be able to do it in the backyard, but if you put him against NFL players from today,
Mr. Holt ain't going against NFL players today. I'm telling you,
OBJ is. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, he is, and that's fine. That's fine. You have to get targeted to get the effing ball in the first place. Okay, so
but he can't go on lack of targets. Baker was forcing the ball to him. He was forcing throws on it. To me, it's his lack of effort. Like, I feel like he just felt like after a while he was burnt out. He shit all over Eli Manning at the end of Eli's career, and he was like, I don't want to be here anymore. This guy sucks. They sent him to Cleveland, and he was happy there. And then all of a sudden, him and Baker just never developed that camaraderie, connection. And then it's still somebody else's fault. I don't want to be here. This place sucks. Now he's out again. That game with the one-handed catch behind his head, whatever, 7 years ago, they lost that game.
Yep.
Cowboys won that game. That's what I'm saying.
Hell of a catch, though. Hell of a catch.
People want to automatically go back to that Odell Beckham Jr. That's not who he is now. He's missing balls. He's short arming catches because he doesn't want to get hit. He looks frustrated on the sideline. He's always hurt. So I saw something right before we hopped on. Vegas had the odds for the Rams to win the Super Bowl at plus 800 before they got OBJ. They signed him. You know what the odds are now for the Rams? Plus 800. It didn't move. Vegas knows better than we do.
Bro, no, I'm not going to put my tin hat on, but you got to think about something. So Stafford has Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Who else does he have on the other side to complement Cup?
He has Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp.
He has his tight end, Higbee.
He's got Tyler Higbee. I mean, those ain't skills. Bro, that's 3 players.
I understand that. But you bring in OBJ, that will open up Cooper Kupp. Right?
Cooper Kupp's already leading the league.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna start double teaming him, and that's gonna leave OBJ open. They're gonna complement each other. Watch.
So here's my thing. How many footballs do you play with at a time?
1.
There's only one rock to go around.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same mentality of the super teams in the NBA. Look at the Lakers. They're struggling right now.
Don't get me started on them, bro.
Why? Because there's only one rock. You can have all these players, but only one guy at a time shoots the ball.
Correct. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't see Cooper Kupp as being selfish. He was the number 2 for a while. In my eyes, he's their number 1 now.
In my eyes, he's the only one. But go ahead.
He's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see him being selfish, like, oh, you're bringing this guy in and he's going to take my catches and he's going to take some of my looks away. I don't see that. But I do see it as you're introducing something volatile into something that is consistently working right now. And what are you going to do if a couple of weeks in, OBJ's whining and complaining again that he's not getting the looks, and he still carries himself as a number one wide receiver, and he's not. He's not the number one. He wasn't the number one in Cleveland. Jarvis
and for me, from what I can see, is I think that the Rams did it more as a distraction tactic, more than anything else. If they let him on the field or give him a couple of plays here and there, even if they're not feeding him the rock, I think it's more just as a distraction to the other team, or basically
decoy?
to the other team. Yeah, like a decoy. Like
Bro.
we have OBJ out here now, but we also have Cooper Kupp.
Right.
So who are you going to double? You're going to double OBJ or are you going to double Cooper Kupp?
Yep.
You got to pick one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think it's more of a distraction for opposition than anything else.
Yep. I agree. I'm looking at it, and when you hear the name, it triggers memories of who he was. But unless you're in Cleveland or you pay attention to the NFL in general, you take a step back and you're like, he ain't really all that no more. Maybe it is Baker. Some of that is Baker's fault. And he goes to LA and he balls out. That's not a bad thing for LA. LA's like, we'll roll the dice. He's cheap. I'm sure he's cheap.
Well, you talk about the locker room, like him being a cancer in the locker room and all that. You gotta think somebody's in that locker room that plays defense. I think his number is 99. Aaron Donald. That shit ain't gonna fly, bro. Guarantee you.
I mean, Aaron Donald, he's very well established. Not only is one of the top guys, if not the top guy on his team, but in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you do have those strong personalities. Couple that with Von Miller.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now you've got two established leaders,
veteran leaders,
right?
They're gonna help, and they're gonna actually. I think they'll put him in his place if he decides to get out of line. I mean, now, like, you want to be somewhere to chase a ring, you're here.
Right.
Now, are you gonna act like an asshole, or are you gonna get your shit together and play with the team? Which one is it gonna be?
Right.
Because we don't have time to fuck around.
Mess around and find out.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to talk about that news. Like I said, that was a little side tangent.
Mm-hmm.
It just broke today. Like a few hours
ago.
Recorded.
Yeah.
So I figured that was something to talk about before we go back into, again, the Broncos and the Cowboys. You can see we kind of shied away from it a little bit. We ain't want to really touch it like that. But, hey, it has to be addressed.